Right then, this is Sharky from SHAR-KADE, so hopefully the audio, everything is working fine. I've just got to quickly check something on the video and we should be good to go, so I'll be back 2 seconds. Right, so just 2 moments. If I can hear myself. Right, yeah, so perfect. Yeah, so all that sorted. For some reason on my phone on YouTube it won't let us edit the video or see it when I'm live streaming, weirdly, when it used to before, but we've got there. Excuse me. So we have our new wheel option. We have the PC Games Plus selection. Now the PC Games Plus selection is off our brand new 40 terabyte add-on. Now the 40 terabyte add-on is basically the last add-on SHAR-KADE's doing. From then on you will receive the beast drives for upgrades. So your O, P, Q and R and S and T and I all the way up to Z, eventually you will purchase your other drives from KRISCOOLMODS from his website, or his retro beast drives. Now we do offer the 48 terabyte add-on. Now that 48 terabyte add-on is basically the starter pack for the retro beast starter pack. So any funds from them orders go direct to KRISCOOLMODS. Then he knows you have the starter pack ready for his builds and so on. So that's how things are working out. Let's go ahead, jump into this new wheel. Now I've added a new style wheel to the system itself. We have a ton of games that we've added to the system, a lot of new titles. I've been going through doing all the tests of all the games, making sure the games load in. Now with Rocket Launcher there's Unreal games basically, and those Unreal games sometimes need a little bit of extra config in the background to then load the game in correctly. And I've just been basically going through each game, testing it all out, making sure that those games work as they should do. So each time the booting in correctly, the exiting correctly and all that stuff. So it takes a little time. I mean, this took forever just installing the games. I mean, it's took us way over a week just to install the games. The rest of the stuff was all done in a day. All the wheel art, all the borders for the wheel art, stuff like that. Now what I do is I create a action within Photoshop. So I basically do the editing of how I would want the wheel art to look or anything like that, and then I record that action while I'm creating the wheel art and stuff, and then that way all I've got to do is go back to my action. When I open an image, I just click play and it automatically creates what you see in front of you. And you can do it with any images and stuff like that. And then all it was is just opening each image and making sure I just click play on each image, and then it'll do that action for each image. All the sizing, everything is exact. Now obviously when I got the images all the images with different sizes, different shapes, stuff like that. So with the action, it just basically resizes all the imagery and creates all the borders and stuff like that for the wheel art itself. So like I say, it's a different style of wheel. We're currently with what we usually have. I just really wanted to show off the have a different, so you know you're getting that 40 terabyte drive. You know the PC Games Plus Plus is our 40 terabyte add-on, because it looks a bit different from the other systems. So like I say, there's a ton of stuff added on here. There is one or two games I do need to remove and reinstall, or just completely remove. Some games I didn't really want not working, but it's one of those things. When you go through, test everything, you always come across one or two that just don't work right. These games load in, but then when you get to a certain point in the game, they just crash, which is unusual for PC games, but it's just one of those things. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of them. I am going to try and re-download this. It is 100 gig, so basically to me it's a drive filler. It's 100 to 150 gigs, so it does take a little while to download. I'm going to have to re-download this game, reset it back up and retest it and stuff like that, or try and fix it. But I am going to keep it on there until I fix it, or re-download it and reinstall it. So it will stay on there until I've fixed it anyways. The 40 terabyte add-on drive as well will be available now to purchase with the 48 terabyte starter pack. So you can buy that in a single 16 terabyte drive, because this drive and the 48 terabyte add-on drive is in two 8 terabyte partitions. So you can buy one single 16 terabyte drive, which makes your 32 terabyte go up to 3 16 terabyte drives with the 48 terabyte in total, and so on. When you get Chris's drives all come in 16 terabyte drives. So basically you would be purchasing just 16 terabyte add-ons, which I do recommend if you're gonna go all out and get the 112 terabytes. If you want 112 terabytes, there is going to be some little extra goodies you do need inside your arcade. Currently I've got a a SATA expansion for an M.2 slot. So basically I usually, in the control panels, I usually do have a M.2 SSD, but with this 4-player Creepshow cabinet to fit all the drives in, which they do all fit inside the unit. The temperatures are good as well. I don't notice any spikes in temperatures and stuff like that, even running all those drives in. And also there's no problems with the power supplies handling all those drives as well. So basically I've had to install an M.2 an M.2 slotted SATA expansion. I got there in the end. Basically, it's a SATA expansion. What it does is it gives you some SATA ports, extra SATA ports for the system. Now I can rig up between an extra 5 drives on that. I do have 4 in on the motherboard itself, then I have an extra 5 there, which I'm, with the cables I'm using at the moment in this machine, I'm using those L-shaped cables. I want the flat ended cables, both ends, and I do need 90 centimeter cables. So I'm going to reorder some cables and just put the straight bracket ones in. It's because at the moment I do have using one slot, I'm having to miss a slot, use another slot, and so on. It's because that L-shaped bracket, if I use those cables in on the hard drives, it's getting a bit awkward, because I'm having to then try and use L brackets which are just quite touching the bottom of the case, and the bending the cables a bit too much, and I don't want to damage my hard drive ports. I'd just rather miss a port at the moment. But like I say, all the drives are in. I'll just change those cables out with straight cables, and then I can add more drives at a later date if I wish. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to get any more hard drives inside the 4-player control panels. So the 112 terabytes internally is going to be fine. You're going to be able to install your full 112 terabytes inside your 4-player control panel. But any more than that, you are going to struggle. Those will have to probably be on a USB external. Now you can change and chop what drives you want inside your machine compared to what you're going to run off external hard drive. Now if it was, let's say, up to 140 terabytes at a later date, what I would generally do is I would take out the switch game drive. So any drives that just have switch game stuff like that, I'd run those on an external drive, and then any games that have PC titles, next gen PC titles, I would prefer to have those internally just for load time, stuff like that, and game performance. I'd rather have those drives internal. So that's the gist of it. Like I say, if you do have a 2-player control panel, you've got no choice but to have them all external. So you can have a 5-bay external caddy as well as an extra 2-bay external caddy, so on and so on and so on, or 2 5-bay external caddies. It is a lot slower. There is a lot of wait time and stuff, but as long as your main OS drive and stuff is on that internal, you shouldn't have too much issues loading in and out of systems. It's just when you start going to the extra drives and stuff like that, you may take a few seconds to load or the drives to wake up. Obviously a better external caddy would help as well. A more responsive, faster external caddy. It's stuff we've got to look into anyways. But like I said, that's the main gist of things. On stand-ups and stuff like that, there should be plenty of space inside the units to add more, all the drives themselves. So let's head back and start from the beginning there and go through the different games. So let's start at 10 minutes. Had a little go of that. It's some sort of first-person shooter. You do need, I think, a keyboard and mouse for that game. 13 Origin. Not too sure about that. I think it's some sort of horror genre. We have Seventh Domain, the door there. Eon Must Die, Eternia, AEW Fight Forever, Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. We have Age of Barbarian, Air Twister, Alan Wake Remastered, Alder Forge, Aliens Dark Descent, American Arcade. I know I played a little bit of that earlier on, and that was a pretty cool game. It's like a side scroller type game. Currently we do have the Pacto Tech installed in the setup. I do recommend you do get that. There's a few little things I've got to look at with the Pacto Tech. It seems to recognize the controllers pretty well, but I want a nice smooth hot swap between the two controllers, whether it's going from arcade controls to the controllers, wireless controllers. I just need that smooth. I did come across 1 or 2 issues. Maybe it was just the game that it didn't support Xbox controllers correctly. That have come across a few games like that before where it says it has controller support, but it doesn't. The game doesn't work with those controllers, so it could well be that causing the issue, but it's not a big deal, something we can sort out. So we have Arcade Showdown, a pinball dribbler game. Not tested that one out yet. Arcana Heart, Armor Reforger, Armored Core. We have Art of Boxing. We have Asterix and Obelix Heroes. Then we have Slap Them All 2, Astral Ascent, Atlas Fallen. We have Atom Eve game. We have Avatar, Baby Shark, Back to the Dawn, Backpack Hero, Baldur's Gate 3, Bang on Balls, Banzai Pecan, is it? Some pro surfing game, Battle Bands, Beast, which looked a pretty cool game, Bikini's Folly. What's that one? Say You Are Being Hunted. Biscuits, I think. I'm not sure what that game is, because that was a cover art for it, but the exe file did say Biscuit, so I'll give that game a check. Right, 2 moments, I'll just check the comments. No, there's no comment shown on there. Right, let's have a look. Happy New Year, mate. So, cheers, Rob, mate. Happy New Year, Andy, mate. Happy New Year, Mike, mate. Yeah, Happy New Year, XRAYZUK. Yeah. Looking forward to buying one of your bar tops real soon. Can't wait to see. Cool. After purchasing the 48 terabyte system from you with the retro piece starter pack, is it easy to connect the extra drives purchased from Chris? Yeah. So basically, adding the extra drives is pretty straightforward. His drives are just going to recognize. So once you've got the starter pack and everything, all you'd need to do is then plug in the drives. You don't have to do no allocation with his drives either, so you don't have to go into computer management, change the drive letters. Generally, I think his drives, you just plug in, they recognize it as IPQ, RST, whatever drive letter it is, and it just recognizes. He does something in the background that allows it to just recognize as that drive, and then yeah, it's just plug and play basically. So if you want like the P or Q drive, and then you just go to the selection, which I'll show off in a second, and just select that drive. Right, so Blades of Immortality. So with this new drive as well, I know I'm rambling on a bit, but I have gone through the different, a lot more different category. I went with a lot more arcade style games, a lot of older games as well that I didn't have on me drives, a lot of the new titles and stuff. But like I say, there is some arcade style stuff. Oh, what have I done there? I've caught the cable. It's refreshing me pack though, tech. 2 moments. There. Right, I don't know. Yeah, I caught that cable. Right, so yeah, I went through and added a lot more arcade style games as well. There's a lot of new games that are coming out which are arcade style games like Slapping Beans. I'm not sure what that one is, Buzz. We do have Call of Duty Cold War on there. Capcom Fighting Collection, Carnage, Checkmate, some cheeky arcade wrestling game, City Skylines 2, Clowny Art. So there is some like really what's the name of the games here? Oh, I can't think of the top of my head. They're usually like I really can't think. Indie games, that's it. There's a lot of indie style games. Really just not even AAA, the A games, B games or something, B movie style games. I don't know the word for it, but yeah, there's some crap games basically. But some unusual stuff. I mean, my kids like to play Bendy and the Ink Machine and all that sort of stuff, and really unusual crappy looking games that I wouldn't personally play myself. But there is stuff on there, you know, there's a whole genre of all different style of stuff. There's Cobra Kai 2, there's Cocoon, there's Conquisite, I can't say that. We'll have Paranormal PI, Cramped, Creed, Rise to Glory. I think that's a VR game, so I may remove that as well. And we have Cricket 24. We have Crybabies game. So some kids games as well. Custom Mech Wars, Saber TD, Dang Host, Dark Envoy, Dark Souls. Wait, we have Dark Souls 1, then we have Dark Souls 2. I need to change the wheel out on that. We have Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, the Ringed City, is that? Dark Souls Remastered. DML look good. I haven't tried it yet. Now there's 2 of them. The other one I couldn't get to download. But this one I managed to download, and it looks pretty good. It's a bit like a Resident Evil style game. We have D-Cop, Deadly Rain, Death Rally, Death Roads Tournament. We have Death Stranding Update. Now I've been going through updating some games as well. So on this drive you have the updated version with all the DLC and all that stuff as well. We have Demo Battles. Devilian Ultra. We have Dino Break, Dino Hazard, Disagree 7, DNF Duel, Doomblade, Doomsday Paradise, Double Dragon Gaiden, We have Double Dragon Trilogy. We have All Stars Kart Racing, Drunken Fist 2, Zombie Hangover, Dude Where's My Beer, Dungeon Golf, Dungeons 4, Duskbound, Ebenezer, Invisible World, El Paso Elsewhere, Ember Knights, Emu War, Enchanted Portals, Escape from Mistwood Mansion, Executive Assault 2, Exit Limbo Opening. Now I think that's different to the Exit Limbo that's on the other drive, I think. But I'll give that a try and check it out. Farmer's Life, Farming Simulator 22, Fatal Zone, Fate Samurai Remnant, FIFA 23. I downloaded FIFA because I have been requested it before. I've been requested all the FIFAs, but to be honest, they're all the bloody same games. It's just maybe one or two special features on each game. They're a load of crap to me, to be honest. This is going to have to be removed though. The last FIFA I put on as well had similar issues, had problems with the full screen and stuff like that. This game loads, which I thought great, it loads, don't have to test it any further, then it crashes. So this is going to have to be removed, unfortunately, and to be honest, I'm sick to death of downloading FIFA games and they're just not working. So I'm going to avoid FIFA. If you want FIFA, download it yourself, add it yourself. I've got tutorials there. They do really wind me up, these games. I end up putting them on, and then later on I'm having to remove them because so far through the game there's a problem. So I've had enough of FIFA. If you want FIFA, get it on your console or download it yourself, because I ain't going through the headache of having to re-download it each time and set it back up and test it and all that stuff. It just takes too long. You know what I mean? If something's not working PC wise, I generally remove it. If it's a AAA title, I would look deeper into fixing the game, find out what the actual issue is. But something like FIFA, that usually is a quid, I'm not going to waste my time with. Fight Angel, Fight Crab. We have Fighting Layer AX. Now that's an updated version as well. I think we have Fighting Layer AX on the other drive. This is the updated version. We have Fighting Rage. Now I played this on the PS4, on my jailbroken PS4, and this is a pretty good game. Final Vendetta, Flashback 2, For the King 2, Forest. Now this is not the Forest game like Sons of the Forest. I think it's a different Forest game, but I couldn't find the wheel art for that one. Forged of Blood, Formula 2707. We have Forested Sacred Souls. We do have Forspoken updated as well with all the extra DLC. Forza Motorsport. We have Galactic Civilizations. Goggles, I had a game of that, man, and it looks quality. I got stuck at a point and I couldn't figure out how to get through the wall, but it just looks clean, really, really clean. We have Get Me Out Please. We have Ghost Runner 2. Now, I loved the first game. First game was hard as crap. Really difficult. You die at least 100 times on the first level when you're first learning the game. Once you start getting into it and you get your skills of the game and stuff, it does get a lot easier. But it's a lot of running, jumping, slicing, dodging, stuff like that. It's really, really cool game. So the second one, I'll probably sit down at some point and play that. We have Giga Bash, Gigantosaurus, Dino Kart. We have Gladiator of Sparta, Golf versus Zombies, Grand Blue Fantasy. We have Grey Matter. We have Great North Shelter 2, Grey Hill Incident as well. That's I've watched some gameplay of that. I've tested the game as well, and it's a pretty cool game. I think though you do possibly need a keyboard and mouse to play this one. I don't think it has controller support. We have Grounded, which is the update. I think I have this Grounded game on the other drive, but this is the updated version. Gunbrella, Gunhead, Harvest Moon. We have HDC Challenge. So like I say, I have been going and adding some obscure games, just solely because not everyone's into AAA titles. I've been requested games like FIFA and stuff like that, simulator games and stuff. So I thought I'd get that not added. Or you missed it. You can always go back and watch the start, mate. You haven't really missed much, to be honest. So we have Hellboy, Hello Engineer. Now I should really add the Hello Neighbors games. I know a lot of kids like those games. Heroes Adventure, Hidden Through Time 2, Horizon Chase 2. Now that is a Switch game as well, but this is the PC version of that game, which is obviously going to be better graphics and stuff, you know what I mean, higher resolutions. We have Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. Now I think the first one's on the 32TB add-on, and this is the second one. We have It Doesn't Matter. Oh, it doesn't exist, sorry. It doesn't exist. Oh, In His Time. Inescapable. Infraspace. Inspector Gadget. We have IRA. I'm sure that IRA though isn't that wheelot. I'm sure it's some dude with a Viking looking dude. So I'll have to check that game out. Iron Dungeon. Iron Marines Invasion. Iron Meat. Jade Empire. I played this game years ago. It's a really, really old PC game. And I loved it. It's probably a load of crap new, but I loved it. I think I went through, I had the special edition one. I had all the extra bits and pieces and stuff like that. And I think I spent weeks playing it. Right. Jiu-Jitsu Squad. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle R, Joyville. Now we have Judgment, Jumanji, Jusant, Kaku, Knight vs. Giant, Koihime Enbu, is that? Kung Fu Panda, Laika, Aged Through Blood, Last Labyrinth, Lego 2K Drive, Lempo, Lights of Life. We have L'Illusion, Theory, Limerick. Is that Live Alive? Or Live Alive? Wizards Must Die, Lords of the Fallen, Lost Alone. We have Lunalux, sorry. Mad Streets, Magicraft, Max Payne 3. Now, it took me forever getting this bloody game working on previous builds. I always had it working and I had to remove it and so on. There was always an issue with the game, but this version seems to be pretty solid. What I've checked and tested, and I love me Max Payne games. I love Max Payne 1, 2 and 3. So it was definitely a must-have on the system. Mayhem Brawler, Police Force 2. We have Mega Man BN Legacy Collection Volume 1 and Volume 2. We have how much to upgrade? It depends what you want, mate. If you want the 40TB and the 32, if you've got the 32TB build and you want the 40TB and the starter pack, Beast starter pack comes with the Xbox games as well. So all the Xbox 360 collection. You're looking at 600 quid, mate. So that's basically I charge 300 quid per add-on. Now that's a note as well. I have had a few people saying KRISCOOLMODS drives are expensive. Yeah, they seem expensive on the surface because he does charge quite a bit for them. But you've got to think he has a 2-year warranty on his drives. I don't offer a 2-year warranty on the drives. And if anything goes wrong, he's there. You get monthly updates. It's all worth it. When you get his drives and you purchase from KRISCOOLMODS, you're getting the free monthly updates, everything. He's always there to get things sorted. And he's got a whole system where it checks the drives and fixes anything. He's always doing fixes and updates and stuff like that. It's well worth his service. At the end of the day, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for basically his service. If it was me, I would be charging you probably a lot more than that if I was going through the extent he does, to be honest. It's a lot of hours in the back end as well that he's doing. So They might seem expensive, but when you think of the size of the drives, and these drives, you've got to think if they get shipped off and they get damaged, he's having to replace those drives. Now, that you think of 5 16 terabyte drives, that's over $1,000 worth of drives. If the ship has damaged that, and then the screw them over on the insurance of those drives and stuff like that, he's having to replace those drives in the meantime. So that's a lot of money's worth. And if he has 5 or 6 orders like that where the shippers are just a complete pain in the ass and they all get damaged, that's a lot of money's worth he's losing. You know what I mean? So it is worth, at the end of the day, you're getting a 2-year warranty on those drives. It is well worth it, because all it takes is for the drive to have a knock. It might work for 3-4 months, and then later down the line, it stops working. He's having to replace that drive. He can't then get refunded on that drive because you've had it for so many months. Get what I'm saying? So, like I say, people that are saying he's way expensive, it's well worth it. I'm telling you now, it's well worth it. I wouldn't even get that on me normal drives from any supplier. And that's just buying them off them. You're not going to get a 2-year warranty unless you're paying for that warranty. And even then, it's a nightmare trying to get anything returned. We've all done it. We've all purchased stuff online and trying to get things returned and stuff. Even if you've got someone with a good return policy and you do manage to get it returned, it only takes out once or twice or 3 times a year that they go, actually, no, we don't want to return it because you've had it for so long. And you know what I mean? And it just makes things difficult. And you're having to go through all that process of trying to get things returned. He's offering a 2-year warranty, so it doesn't matter what he's charging for his drives or the price of them. It is well worth it in my eyes. But yeah, it's 600 quid, Scott. So if you're going from the 32 terabyte, it'll be 600 quid. I'll probably throw in a drive caddy with that. That will get you the starter pack. Then from then on, you just go to KRISCOOLMODS for any of his drives. Whatever drive you want to go with, you just have that. I think, was yours a bar top or was it a was it a control panel or a bar top? Because if it's a control panel, you need an external caddy. If it's a bar top, you may get away with installing another 16 terabyte drive. If it's a stand-up, then it makes life easier. Because you can install everything in a stand-up. You just need long enough cables. But it all depends on your system, mate. 600 quid for the drives, and then if you need a caddy, I'll throw in a caddy, a 2-bay caddy or something. If you want it internally, then we could probably just purchase some extra long SATA cables and some SATA power expansion cables as well, dude. Right, Melty Blood. We have Melty Blood type Luminia. Luminia. I can't say that. Midnight Acres. Midnight Fight Express. We have Million Alpha Arcana Blood. Night Market, I'll call it. Model Railway Millionaire. MotorGP 23. My Hero 1 Justice. I think that's an update one. I'll have to check. I'm sure that's the updated one, so I should rename it, really. And we have Mad Scientist Roommate Robotic Battle Maiden. Dungeon Master, we have Naruto Ninja Storm 2, Ninja Storm 3, Ninja Storm 4 in there. Naruto and Boruto. Boruto, is it? Shinobi Striker. Then we have Ultimate Ninja Storm, and then we have Naruto X Boruto Ultimate. We have NASCAR Arcade Rush, Neo Dash All-Star Brawl, All-Star Brawl 2, Kart Racers 3, Night Loops, Ninja Kids. We have No Son of Mine, No Son to Worship, Noah's Descent, Nocturnal. That's a pretty cool game. I played a little bit of that. Nuwa. We have Okinawa Rush. We have Omen of Sorrow, One Night Burlesque, One Piece World Seeker, One Piece Burn of Blood. We have Pirate Warriors 3, Pirate Warriors 4, and we have Ultimate World Red Deluxe Edition, Overloop, Overpass, Override 2. Then we have Override Mech City, Painkiller then. Right, I need to add that artwork, which is pretty easy to do. Pandemic Train, Paperman, Paw Patrol Grand Prix. Then we have Paw Patrol World, Payday 3, Persona 4, Persona 5 Tactic. We have Pickle Ball Smash, Pixark, Plasmatic, Pocket Bravery, Psychonauts. We have Pulling No Punches, Fast Punch Club 2, Fast Forward, Rancine. We have Radiant Silver Gun, Revolt. I played Revolt years ago. I've seen that on there and I thought it's a must-have. It's a quality little RC racer game. We have Redneck Ed, Remnant 2, Remo Infested Kingdom, Bit Trap Runner, Rerunner, sorry, Revenge of Illicon, is it? Illicoin, Rip Out, Rise of the Tomb Raider on there. We have River City Girls and River City Ransom Underground, River City Rival Showdown, River City Free Kingdoms, Robo Quest, Rockin' Racing, Ronin, Two Souls, Salt, Samurai Showdown, Sandbeat, yeah, I don't know what that is, Savant, SBK 22, Sklash, Shin Kamen Rider, Shadows, Shattered Haven, Silent Hope, Skull Island Rise of Khan, Slay the Princess. I think that's some sort of story-based game, like a comic strip style game. Smurf's Court, Sniper Hunter Shooter, SNK Heroines Tag Team, SNK versus Capcom, Match Millennium, Solace State, don't know, I think that's some cyberpunk thing. I think it's related to cyberpunk, like some date and story thing, I don't know. Song of Iron, Song of Nunu, Sonic Superstars, Stalker 2, Station to Station, Stray Soul, Street Striker, Strider, that's a cool game. Strike Force Heroes, Stronghold, Suicide Guy, Sumian, Super Bomberman 2, Super Wonder GP, Survivors, Swarm Survivor, Tag Cubis, Tenbris Picture, what's that? The Wakener, the Book Walker, the Chant update as well, the Expanse Telltale series. Now I am looking at adding some more Telltale series stuff. I do like some of those story-based games and stuff, so I'll be looking at adding like the Walking Dead ones and stuff like that. The Fabulous Fear, but to be honest, I think Chris actually has them on his drives, so I'll double check, and then if it's worth adding them, I'll add them. If not, then I'll just keep them on his drives. Right, Fabulous Fear Machine, 4 Kingdoms Awakening Quest. Why is that? I'll have to update that wheel art as well. Friends of Ringo, The Gap, The Grinch, The Invincible. I think that's a new sort of AAA title. Lamp Lighters, Last Faith, The Legend of Neyuta, Return of Moria, is it? Lord of the Rings game anyways. The Many Pieces of Mr. Q, The Matchless Kung Fu, The Midnight Town, Rumblefish 2, Silent Swan, Smurfs 2, The Unliving, Walking Dead Destinies as well. I think that's like a what's the name of the game? Oh, I can't think of the name of it, man. The Last of Us. It's a bit like that, I think. The Fighting Herds. I think is it animals beating each other up. Thief Simulator 2, Thirsty Suitors, 3 minutes to 8, sorry, Thunder Ray, Time Wasters, Tintin. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection, 2-ball, Tomb Raider. We have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. That's a new one as well. They did a what was it? It was like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, but it was like an older version, a HD release. But this is actually the remake, which I'd been waiting on for quite a while. It has been out a little while, but I was planning on keeping it added on this 40 terabyte build. So we have Tormented Souls, Torn Away, Train Simulator 4, Transformers Earthspark Expedition. Now I think I do need to fix some Transformer games. I think I removed them off the 32 terabyte, so I'll probably add some more Transformers as well. Tribe, Troublemaker, Forsaken Souls, True Fear, Forsaken Souls 2, TT Isle of Man, Raid on the Edge 3, UFO Robot Grendizer, Ugly, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think that's an updated version as well. I think I already have that on the other drive, but this is the updated one. Urban Fight, Mr. Peppermint. I had a little go of that as well. It reminds me sort of the start of Old Boy, if you know, like the Japanese movie Old Boy and the remake they've done of Old Boy, where the start ways in the like it goes into that sort of view where it's like a platform look, and he's going in beating up all the guys. That's how it starts off. It looks pretty cool for a side scroller. We have Vlad Circus Descent into Madness. Not tried it. Might be an interesting game. Voltaire the Vegan Vampire, Wandering Sword, What the Duck, Wild Card Football, Wild Mender, Wild Tracks Racing, Witchfire Wizard with a Gun, Wrestle Quest, Wrestling Empire. Right, like I say, I was going through adding the different versions of different games and stuff like that, so I thought, why not? I know a lot of my American customers love the wrestling and stuff, so I thought I'll go with a nice collection of all the different wrestling games. So we have 2K22 there, we have 2K22 New World Order 4 Life Edition, so I think that's an updated version as well. Probably don't even need that one on there. We have 2K23. We have Yatagarasu, Attack on Cataclysm, yet another zombie survivors. Yeah, Blazing the Deep Blue, we'll call it. What are you, the judge? You what are the judge? Why did I say what? You are the judge, sorry. You Suck at Parking, Zips Cafe, and Zombie Soup. So, nice big collection of games. Now, this is practically full. Like I say, there's a couple of things I want to get re-added, and I'll just add a couple of more titles as we go along. I've left space on there mainly for when Chris does a lot more drives. So there's some media and stuff like that we're going to have for certain systems, links to drives and stuff like that. So I've got to leave at least a terabyte space just to add extra stuff further down the line. If we need to fix anything or anything like that, we need that extra space on there. So yeah, nice collection. So I'll go ahead and load a couple of games. So let's try WEW. Like I
Loading.
say, I've got to go through the games as well, and there's quite a few
Loading
games I
complete.
have gone through. And basically, when it loads in, sometimes it'll load into the background, and then you'll get an error message, and then you won't have your joystick key working within the system to exit the system. Basically, those games do need like a fade to title set on those games. And once you get the fade to title set up for those games, the games load in no problem, exit no problem. But there is a few games I've got to go through every game just to test every game. I know most of them I'm just going to load. They're going to load no problem without any issues. But there has been a few. They're usually Unreal games. Any games done by the new Unreal Engine 4, I usually have to do it with those. So automatically with the Pacto tech, it just works with the arcade controls. Oh, I don't want to do online. And like I say, a lot of these will have all the DLC with them as well. So you'll have all the DLC on there. Let's try one-on-one.
Following contest is set for one fall.
Right. I've got everything in me way at the moment, so we can move the different controllers. We do have all 4 controls working, no config needed, just all 4 controls working. I might actually, because the video will get demonetized if it's playing music in the background, so I'll quit that game actually. I've got to be careful because I don't want my video demonetized. The last one was, because of the audio, it probably is going to be, so I will have to mute it on the video to enable monetization. So actually I'll try and avoid, if I can, just those games. I'm going to have to set up the controller for Alan Wake because it will require a control. Let's try this American Arcader.
Loading. Loading complete.
So let's just quickly continue that because I think I played a little bit of this.
Two weeks before that dreadful day.
Good morning, Arcadia. Today we're enjoying a splendid temperature of 77.1 degrees and a humidity of 53%
Good morning,
on this
Arcadia.
beautiful sunny Friday morning.
Right, I'll be back 2 seconds.
Autodroid to full cleaning. I was pretty good at Spectrex when I was a kid. But it's not a Steinway, but it fits in my comfy hobbit hole.
OCD package delivered.
And over here on your right, you can see the Walton Family Memorial. It's a massive sculpture carved in stone of Elijah Walton, his brother Donald, and Vivian Walton, Elijah's granddaughter and the current Arcadia representative.
Next stop, INAC Gemini Tower West.
Trevor Hills, welcome to INAC's Gemini Towers. You've been working with us for 9 years, 10 months, and 14 days. Thank you for your dedication.
Still trying to beat my Spectrex high score, Mitch?
It's just a matter of time, Trevor. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
ADA, the Automated Data Analyzer, is the most powerful computer ever built. INAC technology inside.
Trevor, my man!
Hiya, Gus.
You look good, buddy. Been going to the gym?
Nah, I don't need a gym to keep this ripped body in shape. Hills jeans!
By the way, you going to the Blitz party tonight?
Nope, I still have some stuff to finish here.
Trevor, man, would it kill you to have a little bit of fun once in a while? Sending to Ada.
I do have fun. Moderately. I enjoy doing my job. Validated.
You won't be enjoying it so much now that Romano is our new supervisor. Sending to Ada?
What? Romano? Seriously? But that guy's a moron. Validated. You know, Gus, sometimes I get the feeling that only absolute jerks, egomaniacs, and obnoxious people thrive in this company.
I didn't know you were interested in the supervisor's job. I'm sending it to Ada?
Validated. And I'm not. But William Romano, man? You gotta be kidding me.
Have you ever wanted to leave all your worries behind and have the time of your life while exploring the world and making unforgettable memories? Now, thanks to the Arcadia Edge Travel Grant, you can experience what you've only dared to dream of. Because not everyone who wanders is lost. The Edge Travel Grant, only in Arcadia. Apply now through Ordinary Mail or ADDON.
Mr. Hills, you haven't really told us anything out of the ordinary so far. Do you really need to go through...
I know what I've told you might seem irrelevant now, but it'll help you understand later. Trust me.
Good morning, Arcadia. It's another beautiful day in the city of tomorrow. We're expecting a high of 75 degrees and humidity of 66%.
Good to see you, Mr. Bernstein.
Good morning, Trevor.
Oh, I hope you are up for a pleasant stroll along Memory Lake. So keep those cameras ready, because you might get some really, really nice pics of the Arcadia Spire up there.
Next stop, INAC Gemini Tower West.
I wonder where this guy went. Hey, Millie, have you seen Gus today? Is he sick or...
I don't think so. He just left early today.
Really? He didn't say anything to me. We're gonna fall behind schedule. Man, I'll be working overtime to send all these ADA memos by myself. Thank you, Gus. Jesus, this is gonna take me forever to finish. I should have been home 3 hours ago, and I still have a ton of work to do.
Right, let's quit that because I will need a Xbox controller rigged up for that game. So what I might do, is I may sync my Xbox One controller in a minute, and we'll test out some of those games. Right, let's have a look at something else to put on. Try and find a platform game. Let's try Cobra Kai.
Loading. Loading complete.
Japanese proverb states, "Men who chase two rabbits will not catch one." Karate, no different.
Fashion Way. Tournament.
Okay, Sam, this is it. If we're serious about time is short.
Yes, Sensei.
Great. How about running a lap around the mat for your warm-up?
You got it.
Come on, Sam, you could do better than that. Keep up the pace.
Leave it to me.
Now, time for some obstacle work.
Sure.
Now this one.
That should come in handy. Sure. Cool.
Good. Now to see some kata. Put your fists and feet.
Right, let's quit that game. I got a bit annoyed with that one. Like I say, there's going to be some games that require an Xbox controller rather than the arcade controls. Let's have a look. I may just add these Xbox controllers. Where's the controller gone there? Let's sync up. So I can switch if I hold the back button, player 2. Actually, it might just work standard with the controller connected. Let's try them. See if I can get the controller working without having to switch off the arcade controls. So I may have to do a swap the controls. So I think it's hold. No, that's D-pad mode. 2 moments, I'll get it up on my phone because I need to turn off D-pad mode off. That's what is it again? It may be player 2 start. There it is. Right, so it is. So enable analog mode again. So I want fast analog. Player 1 back button. Hold that. And then I want to turn off. Right, so I've got it set to analog again, and I'm gonna just go. That's turbo. Oh, disconnect mode. That's it. Back player 1, player 2. So player 1 is player 3 on the controls the way it's set up. You hold the both back buttons for 8 seconds, and that will refresh the controls. And what that does, so disconnect the controllers. I should be able to now sync up my Xbox One controller. Oh, there's the batteries run out on this maybe. Right, I think that's it. Sync the controller up. But this, I may have to exit the game. Is that? There. Right. It just took a second for it to kick in. Now I'm using the Xbox One controller. And I've got drift on this controller as well. I've got a couple of crappy Xbox One controllers, not brand new. They've been worn down, so they've got a bit of a drift on the analog. Let's start that. Yeah, so with the Pacto Tech, you can enable disable controllers on the fly. I do think it's worth doing it in game. You may have problems when you're out of game. On the main menu, but you can always do like a refresh, sign out, sign back in. I am going to add a tools option as well to the main menu. So basically we'll have a tools option, so instead of customers having to control alt delete, sign out, sign back in, they can just run the tools and it'll automatically do it for you that way. Because 1 or 2 games may require you to then quit the game, set the Xbox controllers by default, and then start the system up with the Xbox controller. don't know this game very well. I know it's like Resident Evil. It's like a Resident Evil style game. I think it is zombies as well, the same. But I think it's mainly inspired by the Resident Evil franchise, so...
Hey, where the hell have you been?
Me? I've been waiting for you, man. Any updates?
Got him on national TV. Listen up. Whatever.
Can I skip this? Yeah. Yeah, I'll skip cinematic. I'll watch it another time. That bloody analog. How will you stop moving? Right. Yeah, the drift is there. As you can see, it's drifting on the controller. It's moving without us touching it there. So it's pretty bad drift on this control, but... Right.
There are still no hard facts regarding the cause of the terrible accident that took place this morning in the town of Rachel,
Looks good though. Doesn't look terribly made.
High school overturned, turning what should have been an ordinary school trip into a tragedy. Unfortunately, 2 deaths have
I would say
already been
Resident Evil
confirmed.
3
At the time of the accident,
remake style
a series
graphics.
of unexplained tremors were reported in the neighboring area, causing extensive damage to buildings, and a growing sense of alarm among local residents. The causes of the incident are still unknown.
Okay, let's skip this. Oh. Hey, where am I going? How's the stream on everyone else's end? Is it looking alright? Working quite well? I don't know what it's like on Facebook, I haven't checked. I am streaming to Facebook also. Yeah, it does have that Resident Evil 3 vibe to it, the graphics and stuff as well. Let me skip this. The reflections don't look great though. It's not a big deal. It's pretty... Right, where have I got to go? Is there any indications? No. Don't go back out. Oh, it's a doorway there, is it? Yeah.
Hey, Alpha Team is on rest. Leaving the field to the ladies. Grab your weapons, you'll need them.
Yeah, my controller batteries are bloody dying as well. It's on sync my controller. Ugh. Let's swap those batteries out. Right. I'll use the keyboard and mouse for the moment. Are these batteries working? There. Right.
Well, enjoy the paperwork then.
Enjoy the shitstorm coming your way.
Oh,
Need an umbrella?
I'll cheers, Ben.
Very funny.
I've got some new batteries there, but I'll wait until these go again, because it takes a little few seconds for them to recognise the controls again.
There you are. While you were doing your makeup, we got the engines warmed up.
Commander.
Bloody analog drift. Alright.
They left something behind. Check it out.
Why would they leave everything like this?
Let's see if I can restore access to the main facility from there. Need a key to get in. Typical.
Well, a flashlight, there we go. No.
What the? Something's going on. I just intercepted a message from God knows where. It didn't sound good.
This is getting weird. Eyes open, Reyes.
Come on, analog. Right.
Power supply area. My spider senses are telling me I can reactivate access to the main facility from there. I'll have to find a way in. Spider AS. I like it.
Have to shoot that? Yeah. Cool.
I need something to reboot the system. The electrical system of the entire facility seems to be damaged, as if there was a major overload. I'm trying to work out what happened. I'll keep you posted.
Okay, get a move on.
Right. I think I want to get into the gameplay of this, but I think that's probably going to take too long. Quite confident the game's going to be pretty cool though. It's definitely got that Resident Evil vibe. Yeah, my controller's unsynced again. Those batteries aren't great. I'll try and change these batteries over. Right. Let me take a second. So while that's deciding to sync back up. There we go. Right, I'm gonna just quit that game anyways. Let's force quit that. Right, why has it not brought me back to hyperspin? Yeah. Oh, I think I've force closed hyperspin as well. No, hyperspin suspended. Let's have a look. We'll reload that game, quit that game, and then we'll give it a check because something not right there. Let's have a look. I'm still streaming yet? Right. So let's head in. And what was it? It was what was the name of the game? Daymare, wasn't it? There we go. Right. Is it maybe because I've got those disabled?
Loading.
Ah, it is loading.
Loading complete.
It's tried loading twice, I think. I think it's glitching out somewhere. Let's have a look. I just want to double check my task manager. Right, that's fine. It's only loaded to one. Yeah. Let's bloody drift on this control. It's terrible. Right, let's exit the game. And there. That's exited properly. That's working already. Perfect. Right. Let's find another cool title on here. I want to try Goggles, but I do want to swap the controls to the arcade controls for this. So what was it to re-enable? So it's back player 2. Start player 2. So if I hold start player 2, that'll refresh the pack door. Right. And then I should be able to load this game.
Loading. Loading complete.
That says gamepad's ready. So hopefully that works with the arcade controls. Happy New Year's, mate. I think this is where I got stuck the last time. I don't know how to quite break through that wall. Ah, there. Ah, that's why. You've got to take a run into it. How did I get through there? I glitched through the wall. Yeah, you can change the... Anyways, I'm not sure what to do there. Right, let's quit that. I do want to resync the controller. I want to also test between swapping between the controls if I can, with the Pacto Tech and the Xbox controller. I know the Xbox controller isn't great. I may have a look, see if I've got any. I do have the wired ones, but I wanted to try it with some wireless ones. 2 moments. Yeah, so I'm going to try one of the kids' Xbox controllers. My ones, because I borrowed the kids my controllers. They've bloody damaged them. They've worn them down playing Fortnite and stuff. So, right, I think it's back player 1, player 2. This looks pretty decent nick, but it depends if it's got that drift on it. Now, some games you won't have to disable the keyboard, put it into keyboard mode. It'll just recognize the controller in game, and then you can use it in game. But I think with it being 4 Xbox controllers as well, with the Pacto Tech, it recognizes the arcade controllers as 4 Xbox controllers. It's gonna probably put those controllers at default. So I'll be back 2 seconds.
Loading. Loading complete.
I didn't actually mean to load that game yet, because I put my headset down and I caught the button. I did want to sync up this control, so let's hold the back buttons, player 1, player 2, which will be player 3 and player 1. I think I'm going to get that error message for this game as well. Mere error message on the screen. Right, let's have a look. Oh, is this synced to his Xbox? We want to unplug his Xbox for us, please, Pet. Because I think I'm synced to his Xbox itself. Happy New Year, mate. Right, I think you've got the 32 terabyte. I can't remember what machine you got. Basically, I've got it all set up on the website. Apparently, there's a problem though with the options on the website, so I'm going to have to look at that today or tomorrow and sort it out. But there's an option to upgrade to the 40 terabyte and the 48 terabyte starter pack. Command and Conquer, there isn't. I could probably add some, like, I think there was a massive collection of them. Probably a reason why I didn't add them, but I could add them, no problem. But I'd have to check Chris's drives, because I don't want to doubles and repeats of everything, you know what I mean? But I'll check Chris's drives, because he might have them on there. Right, let's sync this controller up. Right, that is synced. Right, that's working no problem. So let's have a quick go of this, because I do like the first one of this game. Let's go to continue. Yeah, so I'll be updating. Like I say, I've got to update one of the sale pages, because a customer mentioned there was an issue with selecting the drives, but there's a drive option on the site to select the 40. Oh crap, resume. Right, hold LB to block.
In position.
Right, I want to just check the settings, because I haven't set up any settings on this, and I'm running on a 2K monitor at the moment, not a 4K, because it's easier for us to sit down and do stuff. So everything's on epic. Shadow quality, put that on the epic. Effects quality epic, and I will do one VSync just to clean everything up.
Let's get rolling. The Hammers have a hell of a head start.
Analogs are okay on this, but
I'll be your handler on this
it's a
one.
little sensitive when I'm moving.
I've always wanted to work more closely with you. Don't take it away from me.
Seems up and down. That's what it is. Left and right, pretty fast. Right. Cool.
Ah, it's getting tricky. But you should be fine if you use your air dash boost.
I know.
Right. Has the game frozen that end? Has it just... I think we've got a crash. What's going on here? Oh, no. It's just probably... Because obviously some new titles are recommended on an SSD. It is on a mechanical hard drive. So it may... Oh, crap. Right. Oh, I couldn't even see him. Yeah, he didn't have a block on the first one either, that I remember. So you couldn't block incoming attacks and stuff, and they would all shoot at you, so you'd be dead instantly. They'd have a perfect accuracy, so you'd have to be jumping around all the time, moving all the time. Seems a little bit slow paced. Where am I going over there? Right. Cool.
What do they want with the reactor?
That's the million-dollar question, Jackie. Best case scenario, make some threats, shake us down. Worst case scenario, blow this whole joint sky high. Problem is, ever since the Zaramon character took over, the Hammers have changed.
Changed how?
They used to be your regular base-based bozos. Predictable and easy to manage. They stepped out of line, you just bait them with a carrot, then whack them with a stick, and the wheels keep turning. But now, they work differently. Now they have an agenda. And bozos with agendas are the worst. They no longer want my carrots. Good thing you whack harder than a stick.
Oh, crap.
I've seen.
Oh, where did he go from? Right. Oh, he's there. Couldn't even see him. Ah, crap.
I've seen rat.
Right, that should have been. That seemed harder than it should have been.
I wouldn't know.
Armand? Major hard-ass. Judging by the fact he single-handedly butchered all of the Hammerstop fighters to take control, allegedly. Look, the guy can fight and think. That's all I need to know to understand he's a threat. But don't you worry. With our powers combined, we counter him. But don't you worry. With our powers combined, we counter him on every level. Besides, he might not show up in person.
I've got a feeling he will.
You just had to jinx it, didn't you?
Ah.
Bloodthirsty fucker.
Oh, I couldn't see him. Disappeared.
Bloodthirsty fuckers.
Right. Ah. Ah, pressed it as well.
I've seen
I couldn't see him either. Sorted.
Time for your ninja rope to shine.
my what?
You know, the grappling hook, gun, implant.
It's called Gap Jammer.
That's the one, yeah. Look, I know this ain't your first rodeo. I just want to help. Keep things smooth.
Oh, why did it jump off the... Oh, kill myself. Right. Oh, I had to dash through. Right. Yeah, I'll get there in the end. Oh, missed it. Bit of... Oh, no.
Why is the reactor above the city?
How should I know? Do I look like a nuclear engineer to you? Maybe plasma can't flow uphill. Or maybe the architect wanted to keep it as close to himself as possible. Far away from this...
Oh, didn't even know I was doing that.
Dirty, dirty working class.
Right. Jump onto there. Gotta go over to the left then, do I? just another way through then. There's the exit door then. It's not down there. Ah, there's the exit door now. Yeah.
They seem determined.
Well, they better be. Once you pull a stunt like this, it's all or nothing. All the factions will be at their throat if they fail to secure the reactor and the bargaining chip. And they will fail.
Can't we secure the reactor remotely?
Why didn't I think of that? Oh, wait.
I did.
Oh, wait. I did. Zoe's busting her butt right now trying to do exactly that. But your late papa, the architect, made these things network unfriendly. Besides, even if we do prevent them from detonating it, they can still just break it. And we have enough of a power shortage as is. And we have enough of a power shortage as is.
Why wasn't the reactor protected?
It was. We have 5 guys guarding the approach. And
Why wasn't the reactor adequately protected?
because of politics. There's nobody who can come close to it without all the other factions getting all twitchy. This mess is exactly what we need the Interface Council to work out. If all the gangs and factions don't learn to play nice soon, Dharma will just
Right,
fall apart.
I'm going to quit this one. I should have quit it via the main menu, but that's alright. Right, I'm going to have to re-enable the arcade controls. Oh, no. Why is that not responding? Right, let's see. Not had this issue before where it crashes exiting the game. It might be because I'm streaming now. I've had issues in the past. It doesn't like it's streaming. Let's just load that up. Right, let's swap. Wait, let's go through because I'll keep that as default. I'll use the keyboard for a minute. So I want to try some other games out. Let's try Horizon Chase. Is it because I've disabled the arcade controls? I think it is. Let's see. Oh, there it is, loading.
Loading complete.
So it does give a delay when it's loading, when it's in keyboard mode. So I've got to learn this Pacto tech to remember which buttons, because you can enable D-pad mode and all that stuff. So it's start player 2 to re-enable it. Right, yeah, this is the error message I was talking about before, so this is quite an easy fix. All we've got to do is just force quit the game. What we'll do is the exit hyperspin, just load up Rocket Launcher, and all we've got to do is load in the game and then exit the game. So if we go to PC Games Plus, just go here, right. So that error message, what was it? What was the game called there? Horizon, wasn't it? Horizon Chase 2, that's it. So we would just go to our favorite title, launch the game. As soon as the game launches,
Loading complete.
we just hold Control, press Q, just Windows key that, click OK, that's it. So we'll force close that game. We'll wait for the error message, and then that game should be fixed. I'll close off that. Make sure rocket launcher is closed. Right, so that should get rid of the error message. Just boot Hyperspin back up.
Loading. Loading complete.
So usually there's 3 things I've got to do on the games, but the way I've set these games up and the scripts I've got them in, they're now just all you've got to do is what I've shown you there, and that'll fix the game. All it is like a fated title, so when the game loads up, it's not quite finding the correct executable, and then you've just got to tell it what executable it's got to look for in that bit of code. Now, like I say, this game also works with the arcade controls, but I just prefer the controller, to be honest, and I don't want to have to stand up. Graphics on this game look quality as well, man. For the type of game it is, just the colours are so vibrant. Overlapping him on her, yeah. There we go, very good. So, let's just force quit that. Now it might be as well, some games don't like to be force quit, so if you do have any problems with a game, I can do a quick fix for that as well, which way you just have to exit that game via the main menu of the game. But I do have a force quit on all these new titles. So our exit key as well on the Pacto Tech systems will change. It will, instead of it being your left pinball, it will then be, I believe, hold coin and start player 1 on the arcade controls, and then that will force quit the game. Right, let's have a look. I haven't tried this game out yet. I haven't even tested this game yet, I don't think.
Loading. Incomplete.
Now by default I do have the cursor enabled. Usually I have it disabled, but I know on this system there is, on the new 40TB drive, there is some games that do require keyboard and mouse. I do recommend you buy a full-size keyboard and mouse if you want to play those type of games. Trying to play on that little keyboard and mouse you get with the system just isn't adequate. So there's going to be 1 or 2 games that just require keyboard and mouse. I mean, I could set up a joy-to-key. What you'd have to do though is possibly leave a message within the Discord group of Chris's when you have the starter pack, and then he can create a joy-to-key, or I can create a joy-to-key for that game, and then every monthly update you get, you'll be able to just download. It'll update that database with that new keyboard input. Do I want to go through every game and set it up with... Not every game's going to work with the controller anyways. There is just some games that's just going to be a nightmare trying to configure a joy-to-key for it. But if there is a game, we can take a look, try and do a default joy-to-key for that, for games like that. But like I say, it's probably recommended, if it's a keyboard and mouse game, it's probably recommended to play it as a keyboard and mouse game. Right, I'm gonna have to go onto a single player. Let's play, and
Live from a big tower and probably satellites in space, this is Awesome News Network.
Follow me, hotshot. I'll take you to Racington Speedway. Stay on the road as best you can. You're gonna love Turbo Acres. We may not have invented racing, but we are obsessed with it. Every driver is hoping for a shot at the Sky Cup Grand Prix. Gotta win a lot of races if you ever want to see that. You've done some off-roading before, I can tell. Watch your corners. Welcome to Turbo Acres, racing capital of the world. We've got it all.
right, let's take a look at the display settings on this game, because there is some image tearing. I'll have to probably get into the game first.
If you ever want to.
All right.
You should.
Right, so let's go into settings, go into video, and don't want motion blur on, don't want windowed mode on, graphics, adapter, let's enable VSync, let's put it at max FPS. There we go, that should clean up the graphics a bit. Oh, wrong button. That's me beast. What's my handbrake? That's jump. That's handbrake then, yeah. Right. Is there a view change maybe? There's only that. Right. That's why in it to jump. Right. Yeah, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. I may do a mission quickly. Let's go to there.
Hey there, champ. Come on, you can drift better than that.
Let's try.
You're doing great. Nice drift.
I'm meant to hit the corners, am I? I'm meant to miss the corners.
Couldn't have drifted better myself. Nice work. I haven't seen anyone that good at drifting since I looked in the mirror this morning. Now feel free to drift around and explore. When you're ready, come meet me at Clutch Tower, and we'll get to racing.
Right, let's quit this game. And let's take a look at... Let's give that Nocturnal a try, but I do want to switch back to my arcade controls. I keep forgetting what that key input is, so it's got to go in player 2 mode, though it is 4-player, it goes in 2-player mode. If I put in 4-player mode on a Pacto Tech, player 3, which is the far left one, goes 1, then player 1's 2. Player 2's 3, then 4's on the end, but I need it in player 2 mode, so I would hold player 2 start, so it's player 1 start basically, because the way it recognizes is by default 1, 2, 3, 4 from left to right. So hold that button in, and then it should disable the Xbox controller. So at the moment the gamepads are off. It's gonna and it says gamepads ready, but it doesn't give us controls straight away. So I've got to use a keyboard. I think when I load it up and exit, it should put my controllers back as default. I may even in joint key have to get it to recognize the Xbox One controller. I know on my other controllers I have it recognize those when it once it detects that as default 1. But I think the Xbox One do need to be recognized as well in joint key. Let's give this a try. Right, at the moment that's working with the arcade control. Did that double press, so there's one thing I don't want to do in this double pressing keys and stuff as well. does by default recognise keyboard keys, but it is working with the arcade controls, no problem. Right. So this game does show the keyboard keys on screen, but it does all seem to work fine with the arcade controls as an Xbox controller. So, right, let's... Happy New Year, dude. We're gonna have to get your machine upgraded to this 112 terabytes, man. How was your Christmas and stuff, mate? Some gutters. So I take it I need me flames. Cool, so that works great. Let's quit that title. I'd like to try Remnant and stuff, but it's going to take a while to load. I think it's a big story-based game as well, so it's probably going to take a while to get through the main tutorial of it. Ronin 2 Souls Chapter 1. I haven't tested that game yet, so let's take a look at that.
Loading.
Yeah, so with the Pacto tech,
Loading complete.
it looks like when you do swap between the controller mode and stuff, it may take a few seconds to sync up the controllers. You've got to obviously disable the arcade controls and then sync up your Xbox controller. That's going to then take default. But back at the hyperspin menu, it's not going to recognize your arcade control, your controller controls with the hyperspin front end. So you've got to swap back. I do recommend then just load in with a keyboard again, then exit out, and it'll bring back your controls at the main menu. I'll look at trying to fix that maybe, so it recognizes the Xbox One controller. It may just be because I haven't got it to recognize an Xbox One rather than just an Xbox 360. I've got hyperspin, it recognizes 360 controllers, sets them to default if it recognizes one, but I think I've got to do it with the Xbox One because they're not exactly recognized as a 360 controller, if that makes sense. Anyways, let's try this. Arcade controls seem to be working on this game. Like I say, there is going to be games you come across which are just keyboard and mouse, or there may be some that have direct input controllers. Now when you buy one of our systems, you do get wired controllers with the system. It means then those controllers do have X input as well as direct input, so you can swap to direct input controller. Hopefully with some direct input games it may work straight off the bat, just switching it over to direct input. Right, let's skip this.
I had to go to the village that day because there was nothing to eat in the house. Maybe Watsuji could have arranged
so it's
something
a third
for me.
person
So I immediately
game.
set off.
I'm probably gonna have to set the controller up then. So let's give this a try. What I'll do is I'm sure it's back. I always got to check. I may do a print out of this so customers can print the Pacto Tech shortcuts. Basically, you can set up switches with the Pacto Tech, so you can set up a switch and just press a switch or the button and it'll change to those different modes. But to be honest, I don't want to have to rig like 8, 9, 10 extra buttons just to go through different modes. There's no point when you can just hold a button. But there is a printout on the Pacto Tech website, and basically their guide, it tells you which buttons to hold, and as long as you hold those buttons you can put it in whatever mode. So it is disconnect mode, which I want to then enable the Xbox controller, is back, player 1, player 2, so that's 3 and 1 basically on the SHAR-KADE unit on the 4-player. So hold those. I think they've got it also for the 2-player. I've got to check that. So that's now refreshing. It takes about 8 seconds to then disable the arcade controls. And then what I do is I should, because it's already been synced up, I should be able to just switch on the controller. Right, that is. But I think it's not going to do it unless I quit the game and load the game up. So let's force quit the game, load the game back up and try it with the Xbox One controller. And that doesn't exit properly. Why is that? Is it maybe because I'm disconnecting the controllers and it's glitching it out? Let's have a look. Or is it maybe I'm Alt F4 too much? Yeah, so hyperspin isn't exiting properly when I swap the controls. So then I suppose I've got to load the game, quit the game if it's an Xbox controller game. So let's just go in. Yeah, because it's in Xbox controller mode. So I'd have to do it on the hyperspin menu. And I think while I'm in game, I'd have to swap it. So let's give that a try. What was that game called? Bloody hell, I'm terrible at remembering stuff. Yeah, past them. Past that. Past Remnant. There, Ronin. So let's load that up. Oh, my controller's disconnected again. Is it these batteries as well?
Loading.
I think that's loaded twice. It doesn't, I don't think it likes this.
Extraction complete.
Right, let's have a look, because something's not right here. It's not letting us. It's had a dodgy load, so why is that then? Let's have a look. Yeah, right. Is it possibly because I'm streaming? I can't seem to get out of the screen, so let's... Ah, right. Yeah, so I think it's the fade in I've had issues with. So, yeah, I think it's tried. No, that's okay. It's only that one game. Let's force close hyperspin again. Right. I'm not getting the bottom taskbar either. Right, just I want to check to see if it is. That does say it's disconnect mode. Let's take a look. So that is recognizing just the Xbox controller. So I think let's switch back to arcade. Where's my phone? Right, so player 2 is just player 2 start. So hold that in, let it go back to, because what I think I'll do is we'll set it to recognize the controller when the Xbox One controller is plugged in. Let's take a look, see if I can go into Rocket Launcher. Right, so I want control settings, controls. No, it's not that, is it? What is it again? Key mapper. So I do want it to recognize. It's not shown. Why is it saying 7 Xbox controllers? Let's also add those. Right, let's give that a try. Let's close the task manager down. Right. Ah, that's why it's, yeah. So it's in, at the moment it is in arcade mode, so it's working with the arcade controls. So what was it? Ronin, wasn't it? Right, now before I load the game, I'm going to put it in disconnect mode. Then what did that do? Did that? I couldn't see because my arm was in the way. Right, so that's in disconnect mode. So let's sync up the controller. Right, I think that's a controller synced up, but we'll give it a few seconds, let it sync up in the background of Windows, and then what we'll do is we'll try and load the game. Give it a few more seconds. Right.
Loading.
I think I had to.
Loading complete.
I think there I had to actually click on the screen with a mouse click and then load. But let's see if this game might not even recognize Xbox One. It does. Yeah. So I would say let's try this. I'm not gonna let's start the game. I think I'm gonna need a cigarette. Right, so that's working. Xbox controller. Make a cigarette, cheers, pet. Right, so that's working. Xbox controller, Xbox One controller. So that works in game. Game loaded up. Right. Cool. So I'm gonna go back. So I think it's hold start, and I'm gonna change it back to arcade controls. So hold the start button, player 1, which is player 2 on the Pacto Tech. Right, that's refreshing. And what we'll do is we'll give it a minute or so to properly refresh everything, and then what we'll do is we'll quit the game. Right, so that says gamepad's ready. Obviously in game, because it's already recognized the Xbox controller, Xbox One controller, it's not going to give us controls. We'd have to quit the game, load the game up, and then the arcade controls would take default control of this game. But what we're going to do is just quit it. So let's quit to return to desktop. So we'll quit that game, and then fingers crossed we should have arcade controls working. Yeah. So I think that's the method we're going to have to use to then swap between for certain PC games. Once you know what PC game you're working with, most of them, like I say, is going to work with the arcade controls. A lot of them that you want to use a controller, you're going to have to sync it in with a controller. You'd have to then allow to click on with the keyboard and then load the game. Not a big deal. Like I say, if you're just going to play the system with the Xbox controller, you can even shut the system down, load it up with just the Xbox controller, play with that, shut it down, either way. But there is methods of loading in between each one. It's just a process. I will do a video showing how to swap in between, because obviously when you're in a game and it already recognizes a controller, and then you disable that controller and enable other controllers, it's not going to allow those other controllers to work by default. It's still going to be looking for that first controller. So it should be okay though if you are using an actual Xbox 360 wireless controller, not an Xbox One, because it's going to look just for like controller 1 of Xbox 360. It's because we're swapping between an Xbox One controller to an Xbox 360, so the game is looking for that 360, that Xbox One controller, not a 360 controller. Hope that makes sense. So we're back onto arcade controls. Let's load up this game. I'm then what I'm gonna do is I'll jump out. I'll do that again into another game. But I think it's when you're swapping and chopping and changing and things like that, it's getting the system confused. That's why it wasn't exiting out the game properly and stuff like that. But minor little issues that can be fixed. Majority of games and stuff you're going to probably be wanting the arcade controls. But like I say, you can just chill out with a wireless controller and they do work. Just my ones are a bit crap. This one so far seems okay. But like I say, you don't even have to have two controllers plugged in. You don't have to have two controllers synced up. Just the one if you wish. And then you can just swap and change and so on. Ah, right. It is going to require the Xbox controller for this game. Was it into second analog? Now there is a mode you can put your arcade sticks into an analog mode, to analog mode, so you can use player 1 and player 3 and player 1 analog sticks. I'll not do that today. I don't want to mess on with something I haven't quite tested yet. But you can do like twin stick mode, which allows like two arcade sticks, so you can use it for run and gun games like this. But we'll not do that. What we'll do is we will quit the game. So that is a game we've got to do the Xbox controller. So let's do that again. Let's go back into disconnect mode. I want to just get this right. So each time, oh, I've went into D-pad fast mode. Why is that? Oh, don't want that. I think I was pushing on that other button. Let's try again. That's deep. Why is that D-pad fast mode? Oh no, it is refreshing. Right. Right. Sync up my controller. It do take a few seconds to sync up these controls. Right, so I still have movement on there, but I don't. It does take a few seconds though to actually load the game. I think you've got to wait. Happy New Year, dude. What's that? The gun kit, is it, dude?
Loading.
There. So for some reason it does take a little while
Loading complete.
to load the game. I just recommend you wait when it disconnects and reconnects again. So there seems to be quite a delay on there. Right, so we are back to Xbox controller. Right. Yeah, we've done a ton of updates on the sharpshooter as well. I know KRISCOOLMODS has just released a drive as well, so if we can, I'll see Chris if there's some games I can go through on the SHAR-KADE shooter, add those games as well. Right, so there we go. Cool. Cool. So let's pause that game quickly and then go back into arcade mode. I will get this eventually. So it's player 2 start. So hold player 2, player 1 start on the SHAR-KADE unit. Right, then that's counting down. And then we should be able to. We just wait for on the Pacto Tech. You get a little display, and it makes life easier because it means you can see what mode it's in and what it's actually doing. So at the moment it does say on there gamepad's ready, analog fast. 2 player 3, 1, 2, 4, which means player 3 is player 3 on the left hand side, 1 and 2 is in the middle, and 4 is on the right hand side. You've got loads of different modes. If you go to the Pacto Tech website, you do have a guide on there and it tells you all the different modes. So in front of me I've got like twin stick mode, turbo mode disabled, and turbo mode enabled, and then 8 to 6 button conversion enabled, 8 to 6 button conversion disabled, D-pad mode as well. D-pad mode will work perfect for games like Tekken 7. Tekken 7, though the analog controls work on the main menu, it doesn't work in the character selection. So you've got to have D-pad. It's set to D-pad for the up, down, left, right, and then that's what that's for. That would work great for Tekken 7. Right. So I want to go back. No, I don't want to go back. I want to quit. So let's. Well, that's actually give me the controls back by default with the arcade controls, no problem. But not every game seems to do that, but that game does. So that's back into the arcade controls. Let's try Strider. I haven't tried this one yet. It's a pretty new game.
Loading complete.
No, it is. I'm recognizing my Xbox controller still. Like I say, you don't actually, on some games, you probably won't, new games especially, you probably won't need to change to keyboard mode or anything like that, is because there is games that just don't recognize Xbox 360 controllers but will recognize the Xbox One controller and so on. Like I said about the default controllers, direct input controllers, sorry, there will be one or two games that are direct input because they're just really old games. Majority of new games, in even like back 5-6 years, they've all been X input games, if that makes sense. So let's try single player mode. Let's try that. Right. So that's me jump, that's me slash. Nope. What button was that? It's down in the air, right. try and jump up over there. It's not a double jump, is it? No, I can't seem to get across. Excuse me. Right. What's that say? Alright, I've got a mini map up on the top right hand side there. Right. Chat's not showing up on my phone, so I've got to do it on the phone's died. It's not showing up the chat on my other phone. But yeah, let's quit that game. Is that going to allow force quit? No, I think I'm going to have to exit this game. And exit game. Right.
Optic blast.
I think what I'll do is I think I'll leave it there for today. That is the 40 terabyte system. I can't check the chat either. For some reason my phone's not showing the chat, which I'm logged in through my bloody YouTube, which is weird. But it also doesn't show on my YouTube either. It does if I'm on the PC. Ah, there's the chat. Right, yeah, I've got the chat back up. Let's try another game then, since I've got the chat back. What do you reckon I should try? Let's try that slapping beans too.
Loading. Loading complete.
Right, I'll be back 2 seconds. Right, to be honest, I didn't expect having a few people on watching the live stream today. Obviously, with it being New Year's, there's going to be some people hungover. I mean, I was last night. We went out, had a few drinks in the morning, had early drinks. Didn't actually get back till quite late, so I've been drinking all day. And woke up just before midnight, bit hungover. But got plenty of fluids down us. Did you all enjoy your New Year though, yeah? Any of us hungover watching? Let's try a new game. So automatically with the arcade controls, everything's set up. All the buttons. We don't have a run though on this, so this may require arcade the Xbox controller, because I think the left analog stick pushing is run. We'll see how far we can get.
What now, Commander?
From now on.
Walk, press RT to run, so you don't need the left analog stick in.
Hey, are you okay?
Not really. I'm taking the orphans to the village. But the engine.
Did you hear that? The orphans.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh no, not them.
Well, well. Look who's here.
Gentlemen, please. They're...
Huh? Boss, are you hurt? Hit them.
Yeah.
Get them. Don't think this is a...
What if no? Too pissed of it. Yeah. Watch out, Mr. Lion, don't bite me. Shut out if you wanna go free. I'm here when you call and I answer you all. Row, row, row. Some people are nice to lions. Shout me the lion, don't bite me. Shut out if you wanna go free. I hear when you call and I answer you all. Row, row, row.
Unusual game, man.
Some people are nice.
Oh no, them again.
Them who?
The smugglers from...
There you...
But
You don't seem to have understood. If you want, I'll explain it to you again.
Are you hurt, boss? Get them!
Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss.
Right then. Let's quit this.
Optic blast.
So, like I said, that is the 40 terabyte add-on. That is part of our 112 terabyte system. Hi, Misa, is it? Happy New Year, dude. Yeah, so that's our 40 terabyte add-on. Basically, if you've got our 30 terabyte hyperspin, you can upgrade singly to a single 8 terabyte, which will get you the 40 terabyte add-on, the PC Games Plus. I do recommend you do go for the starter pack, for the Retro Beast starter pack. Then that would give you a single 16 terabyte drive, because if you are looking at upgrading to the full 112 terabytes in the future, if you don't want to go all out now, you can on a later date. And then further on, I think KRISCOOLMODS has a new drive coming as well, which will also be added extra on and stuff like that. So it'll be an R drive, S drive, T drive, PQ, so on and so on. It'll just go up and up and up. Obviously there's only so many drives you can connect to the system at once, especially even through USB 3.0 if you've got a control panel. But I do recommend you go with this full 40 and 48 terabyte add-on with the starter pack. Then that gets you ready for the next drives if you wish to have those drives. Now if I just go up to the Retro Beast setup, it's on the first system settings. So let's just go up. So it's the very first system, just above Hypersearch. So we'll just head in, and then we have our drive O, P, Q and R, and our starter pack. Now the starter pack is our 48 terabyte add-on drive, right? That gets you I believe the Xbox 360 games. That would be then the starter pack for your Retro Beast setup full 48 terabytes of just pure games, and then if you wanted, say, to upgrade to the drive or later on, you can add that drive, you can add the P drive. If you only have, say, a 4-bay caddy or a 2-bay caddy, and you just want to use the 48 terabytes plus just the R drive, you can just have the R drive plugged in. And once the R drive's detected, all you do is load into that system, and then it'll load those systems up and those games. I think the R drive is PC games, so let's just load the R drive up.
Loading. Loading complete.
So at the moment I do have the full 112 terabytes actually plugged into the system. This is all inside our 4-player control panel. It has a pedestal, but there's no drives plugged into the pedestal. It's all built into the control panel. This is one of the biggest systems ever created, ever put together, all built in such a small compact unit, considering it is a fair sized unit because it's a 4-player control panel. But you've got to think you've got all those drives just in that control panel alone. So this does have the Nintendo Switch stuff, the Switch eShop stuff, and the PC game stuff as well. And like I say, we have all those extra games in there. So this is just the R drive. So all you need to do is have your R drive plugged in, and then all your games would recognize. Now I'm going to go through and clean up as well with Chris all this artwork. I don't know if we should maybe keep it like that, the artwork. I'd have to ask Chris. It's his, like I say, it's his drives. But maybe get rid of the square artwork and just put the actual logo artwork, which isn't a big deal because there's less square artwork, or we'll have the proper wheel art, which I could also create that as well. I can write, like I say, I can write a script to resize the images and then redo all those images, and all I've got to do is click play each time. So I can create a what's called an action in Photoshop. I may even go in and show it quickly while I'm live. I may do that. I may show an example of what I mean. Basically, with Photoshop, you can record basically the actions you do, and then you can create a wheel art based off those actions and save it. And then all you do is click play each time, and each time you've got an image open, you just click play. And what I've got it doing as well is I've got it, once it's done it actually closes down the image. Then if I open, say, 40, 50, 60 different images, I just got to click play. It'll edit that image, it'll save it, and it'll close down that image, and then it'll load up the next image, and then I click play again. That's all I'm doing is click and play. I'm not doing any other editing. It's all doing it for us within Photoshop because I've done it that once. Once I've edited it that once, saved it that once, it'll all do it just by click and play, and it'll just go through. It's same as the PNG saves as well. I've got it to save JPEGs as PNGs. So just instead of going file, save as PNG, any of that crap, it's basically click play. It does it. File, save, PNG. Because I've done it once and I've saved that action, I just click the play button. That's it. Saves it as a PNG. I then go open my PNG image up. And then it can be edited to the sizes and stuff I want it. I just click play. It does it all automatically for us, puts a border around everything. And it's the same thing as if I wanted to create a wheel art. I just make sure I have my wheel art image open up, and then I have that when I click play, it'll copy and paste from the wheel art image and over to that image, and everything. It's as long as you've got it set up correctly, it'll work. Just click play, and when you're going through like 500 wheel arts, it saves you a ton of time, and I mean hours upon hours of work. It saves you that just by literally clicking in the mouse. That's it, and it'll save you hours upon hours. So if you wanted to say add 20, 30 more games, and you're like, oh, I've added the games, I've installed them, it's may taking us 15 hours to install some games, because some games can take a few hours. If they're a Fit Girl Repacks game, it may take a couple of hours to install, even though they're not a very big game. And then you've spent all them hours installing games, and then you've got to go, right, I need the wheel art now. I need to get the videos and stuff like that. That's why you don't see any videos on the other one, because there's so many games and stuff. I've left them out for the moment, just so we've got some nice clean wheel art. Same goes, and then you're having to sit there and edit each image and stuff like that. So what I'll do is, let's go back. Actually, we'll take a look what he's got on this drive, because he's got some cool stuff. So he's got Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 there. So I've got Baldur's Gate 3 on the other one, which I explained we're going to get that fixed. We've got the different Batman collections. We have some other Batman games that's not on my 32 terabyte. You've got these games here, Battle Planet, Judgment Day, stuff like that. So there's some games, like I say, which are slightly different alternatives. I know he's got some with the DLC as well. So different games that I haven't got, he's got the DLC of on that drive. Like I say, there is some repeats, which you're always going to get. I don't think I've got Bioshock 2 Remastered or the remastered first one. I think I've just got Bioshock 1 and 2. So that's new stuff added. That's another new game, Bleak Faith Forsaken, and I think there's another one maybe of that. Blood Rain games, Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. What are these? Are these Castlevania? Are they different? I don't think they are Castlevania, are they? But yeah, a ton of cool titles on there. I do like the Castlevania games, especially Lords of Shadows. Lords of Shadows is cool. Lords of Shadows 2 is another quality game. So like I say, there will be some games you're going to get repeats of, between mine and his drives, but there is going to be a majority of games that aren't repeated. Stuff that you're not going to see on his drives to my drives and stuff. So let's go back. Let's head to end Switch and just take a look in the Switch games. So there is a ton of wheel art there. Now I can literally create within about 15 minutes all the different wheel arts for those. With the simple, as long as I've got those PNGs there, which isn't going to be the exact cover art and stuff, but it's going to make it look a little bit cleaner. Like I say, there's probably what 270 there, just in there. So that'll take about 5 minutes to do. If I was to do it all manually, each wheel art, it would take maybe a whole day to do. So what I'll do is I'll quickly. We also have the VR stuff on this drive, but I think me and Chris has got to go through, set up my Windows operating system and stuff to recognize a VR in that. It may not be usable on the system. We'd have to check, because I think we may need Steam and online enabled. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that out with Chris. So let's head back. I think it's kind of start on his drive. So right, let's close this down, because I want to go ahead. And what was that game again? Actually, I'm gonna have to have a look. I forgot the name of the game, because there's a wheel art I want to change. But the way there's a wheel art I've got to add, isn't it? There's a missing one. What was it? What was the game? There. It's Painkiller, Hell and Damnation. Right. So I might even have the image there. Let's go into the game images, painkiller. Oh, spelled it wrong. Painkiller, hell and damnation. Right, so let's just cut that. Let's go back into there, paste it in. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open that with Photoshop. And then what I'm going to do is I have all my actions here. So I want to save it as a PNG. So I'll just click on that there, click play, closes it down. Now that would now be saved into media, PC Games Plus, images, and then wheel. So we've got it there. All I do is open with Photoshop again, and then I have this one here. So I have backgrounds, no, wheel size, cover, that's it. So I don't want backgrounds, I want that one there. I click play, and instantly resizes the whole image, saves it, edits it, puts the border around everything, and then that's done. So what I'll do is I'll copy and paste them into there. So I've got a backup of them. Yeah, replace that. Right, so I want to copy that, and I want to go to my 32 terabyte drive, and then I want to go to media, PC Games Plus, images, wheel, and then I'll just paste that into there. Yes, we'll replace a destination with that. Ah, right. It may be the naming of it. Yeah, it is. So what I'm going to have to do quickly as well is if I just go to... Problem is with some games, the reason why it's not recognizing actually I've had to rename the actual files because in the actual database, it doesn't like the and sign for the name of a game. It doesn't like that and sign. It just doesn't recognize a game properly. So for the game to recognize media and stuff like that and to work right, you've got to have and rather than the and sign. So if we just change the name of that, and that should be done. So what I want to do is just go to my D drive and go to arcade. As you can see, you've got all these drives connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there, but those two are 1, 16, 2, 16, 3, 16, 4, 5, 6, 7, 16 terabyte drives. Right. Actually, I want to go back to D drive, arcade, and media. So, because my D drive is so full, the media for the PC Games Plus, PC Games Plus, PC cheats and stuff like that aren't going to fit on this drive. So what I've got is I've got a symlink from the folder, and it's a bit dodgy when you mess on with it. So let's have a look. I want to go to media, don't I? So media. So what I've got is I've got a symlink to the comics collection. So basically that recognizes as D drive, arcade, media, and then comics collection. But those files are actually redirected because it's not as simple as just doing a shortcut. You can't just add a shortcut in there and it's going to work. You need to do a symlink. So if I go to PC Games Plus, see at the top it says Hyperspin D drive, arcade, media, PC Games Plus, but that's not where it is. It's not actually in D drive. It's actually in the 32 terabyte add-on, media, PC Games Plus, images, and wheel. So it's actually just directed to that folder, but it always recognizes as D drive, arcade, media. So without that drive plugged in, the 32 terabyte add-on, which will need updating, it's not going to recognize those files. So if you've got the database there and you haven't got those files in there, it's not going to recognize those files, so you're not going to see that media on there. So that's what I've done with that. Just quickly, phone putting itself to sleep all the time. Why am I not seeing the live chat always? Yeah, it's got to match the exe file name. Well, it doesn't have to match the exe file name at all, really. It's just got to be named whatever your database is named. It's not just that. If it can't be and, you just can't have the letter and in it. The character and, it's got to be spelled and. It doesn't like special characters within the database. It just doesn't like it on those games. But if we go into Hyperspin now, as long as your game exe doesn't need to be any, it could be anything you want. You could name the game exe whatever you want, as long as your database and your media is all named the same. Within Rocket Launcher, you just got to make sure you set up your Rocket Launcher to recognize it. At the moment, we do have. Let's just go in there. So it was Painkiller. There we go. Painkiller, Hell, and Damnation. So that's all in there. I think there was another reload I had to change, wasn't it? I think it was a Forest. I think that's different. And there was another one. But the 2 out of the 300 and something on there, 400 games. It's not a big deal. I can change that. But yeah, ton of cool new titles. Some unusual titles as well. Probably Strider was one of the good ones I played there. That Resident Evil style game, is it Daymare? That was pretty cool. I wouldn't mind sitting down and playing that personally. But yeah, I had a little bit of trouble with the backdoor tech, but it is all new to me as well. You've got to think the system's always trying to read certain controllers and set up certain way. And obviously if you're going to turn off controllers and enable controllers, it's going to cause you problems somewhere along the line. But I think I figured it out pretty straightforward. It's not a big deal anyways. It just means you sign out, sign back in, and load the game up manually if you want to play it with the controller. But I've seemed to figure it out. You've got to change the controls before you load the game, and then you've got to change the controls back to the arcade controllers when you exit the game. And as long as you just give it a minute or two, just to desync the controllers, resync the controllers, it should be pretty fine. But like I say, I'm going to go through and test all the games and systems and stuff like that anyways. But yeah, a quick one before I do go as well. A thing I've picked up off Chris's setup, how he has his game set up, is PC games. I do have another, I think I have Tekken Tag Tournament to add, as well as Super Mario RPG to add as well for the Switch. But I think Chris already has those. They're not very big games, so I'm not too bothered about those, to be honest. I think he already has those on his. Is all the different bat files. Basically everything's got a bat file. Just the way it loads in, recognises a game, exits. But with me, with it running through Rocket Launcher, though this makes it easier to load in, it does load the games in better. I do have to have an app with exe. That's the only thing. If I don't have an app with exe, it's going to load the game in the background rather than the foreground. So some stuff I've got force exit, some stuff I've just got as a normal exit button. But I do, like I say, I do have to have the app with exe. And like I showed off before, what game was it I changed before? Let's have a look. It should show us there. So a couple of these games like Alan Wake Remastered, you've got to have a fair title. And that just means loading the game up in Rocket Launcher, controlling Q, just to capture that there, and then you just OK and paste it in there. Wait for the error message, close it down, load the game up, and it's absolutely fine. But like I say, I've got to go through every game. I've just got to go through every game, load it up, test it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I've just got to do the fair title. That's it. Other than that, FIFA, I may try and download FIFA. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for not having FIFA stuff. So I'm going to try and load FIFA up. I'll get a different version of FIFA. And then that Baldur's Gate is a must-have. I want that Baldur's Gate working. So that's it. I think thanks for watching, everyone. I know it's probably been a bit boring at stages and stuff. I'm going to crack on. I'll probably get hold of Mr. KRISCOOLMODS tonight, because there's a few little things we need to sort out between the drives. So he's always got an update. So when he basically updates the system, it's not going to change. When you download the update, it's not going to change anything on your system compared to his. In a sense, it's not going to cause you issues like his stuff starts copying over to your drive, the SHAR-KADE drive, because our D drives are different, our E drives are different, and that's why we've got two different setups, and that's why we want two different setups. So basically, he's going to get this unit from me. He's purchased this Creepshow cabinet. He's going to get this unit from me, and then I think he's going to start doing all the configs separately on that machine as well. So SHAR-KADE customers with the starter pack and stuff will be able to get the full support from KRISCOOLMODS. Like I explained earlier in the video, his drives are a little bit more expensive, but there's reasons for it. I mean, he puts 2-year warranty on his stuff. When you look at how much the drives cost themselves, if they get damaged in shipping, if they fail after a few months because of being knocked in shipping, which has happened with me. I mean, a machine's been knocked during shipping, the drive's not been right from day one, but it's worked for quite a while, and then I've had to replace the drive within a few months. You lose a lot of money. They can go from 250 quid a drive up to 300 quid a drive, especially with inflation and stuff. If the prices of drives go back up again, then he's going to end up losing out on a lot of money if he's having to replace 3-4 drives a year or something, which when you're selling like hundreds of drives or building hundreds of machines, that money does build up. You end up losing a lot of profit. So though you may think it's expensive for his drives, it's worth it. You're getting 2 years warranty. You can't complain at that. I've known drives to fail after the year. It's one of those things. It's something you don't want, know what I mean? They're meant to last at least 5 years without issue, running constantly, stuff like that. But these things, if they get knocked in shipping, there's nothing you can do. These shippers just don't care when they're collecting your stuff. It's just one of those things, and they mistreat them all the time. I've sent back hundreds of drives in the past, just from my end. As soon as I get a drive, I've had to send it straight back because it's been knocked, it's been damaged. I've just recently had a customer that bought two, I think 20 terabyte drives, literally come back dented, arrived dented to us. They had dents in the drives. One drive seemed to be working, the other drive was completely knackered. That drive in 20 terabyte drives, 320 quid. Know what I mean? That's 640 quid basically in damaged drives. Now he's having to get those drives replaced. Clone one seemed to be working, and it looks like it's failing already, that drive. So he's going to have to send that one back as well. It's just one of those things, you know. That's 600 quid down. If you think 800 quid is expensive for a drive or something, you know what I mean, for his drives, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's worth it. You think the cost, if he's got to replace that, and if it's been like 2-3 months you've had that drive, he's going to have difficulty getting that drive replaced. It's one of those things. So like I say, for those who have commented saying he's too expensive and stuff like this, we have, like I say, we have the starter pack up to the Xbox 360 games. That drive is at my price. as well. After that, if you wish to purchase his drives, you do, like I say, get free shipping. I think he offers tax-free as well within the EU, so I think it's all tax-free shipping, and he offers a 2-year warranty on it, so you can't go wrong with that. Really can't. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the videos, hit that notification bell. Really thanks for watching, everyone. I know you've probably been hungover, some of yous. I was last night, like I say, but I just drunk plenty of water. I felt great this morning. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll